just going to tell you some more breastfeeding information up front. You know, we did a lot on that yesterday, but there's certain things that we need to make sure that you're aware of when you're working with your clients. And we also need to be assured that you understand the breastfeeding holds and the proper time to use certain ones, okay? So, just the first thing I want to do is come over here to the client and just let you know, in our hospitals, there is going to be these breastfeeding gowns. Do you see that? But look, a client, y'all can come on, a client that has very large breasts, it would be quite difficult, you see, to try to teach with this. You know, that it's not a really large hole. And so, unless the client is very modest or for religious reasons only wants to expose what the baby needs, ask the client, can I unsnap it and let's have a clear workspace. That's how I describe it. It's a workspace for us to do what we need to do. And if, you know, if just one out is more comfortable, that's how we go with that. Another thing that is a tool for us, this is a breastfeeding support pillow called My Breast Friend. At Wake Med Carry, you will find one of these that is the vinyl hospital grade version in each mother's room. But the other facilities, the lactation consultants bring them in, clean them between patients for next use. But Carrie, there's one in the room that is for the patient use while they're there, and then housekeeping would clean those after they leave. But it is truly a breastfeeding support pillow. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it behind my back. Okay, so it helps get baby up. This one can be, you know, patients love them. They're very expensive. I'm sure the hospital grade one may cost hundreds of dollars. This is one that I actually ordered, I think it was from Mercury, used. It still costs $35. So everybody may not be able to afford that. There's a little less expensive version called a Boppy that has a hard vinyl bottom, does the same kind of thing. It's not quite as big. And then some patients just may not even be able to afford that. A very firm pillow can do the job, okay? If the problem is they need to get the baby up, trying to learn how to breastfeed, that's what we're using it for. However, what should we caution clients about the use of cushions under that baby? Okay, SIDS concerns, right? Baby should not be falling asleep, sleeping on breastfeeding support pillows, okay? All right, so I'm going to get this little baby next. You remember that I talked about in class that you had a supplement that shows you the position of latching the baby, okay? So the baby needs to latch onto the nipple, is that correct?
No.
What is the saying? It's breastfeeding, not nipple feeding, okay. And so the latch is a technique, and you have it on the supplement, that the direction is this, correct? Is that right? Okay, it would be up because the baby, the nipple needs to reach the back of the palate at the top. So it's not straight, there's a little bit of an angle to it. And so you would need to tell the mom, hey, you need to support your breast. We need to switch that because we're trying to get an appropriate latch, right? Okay, so that's that piece. When you have downtime with your check at this station, if you're not doing anything, you can go over to the table. You will find a matching activity. Remember I talked about in class that you would be able to see like a nipple shield, you know, and some tools that are used by lactation. So I have a matching activity for you here, and you match the lactation product to the breastfeeding problem that it would solve. Now, you will look at it and it may sound like, hey, I think that's this. It could be possibly two of them. I wrote it in a way that it can only be one answer as you're given the clue, okay? So it's one for each. When you come to me here, we are going to be doing the holds that you learned. Let me tell you a few extra pieces of information beyond what you saw in your video. Football. Football is where the baby's tucked under the arm, okay? And it's great for teaching and for C-section clients. This particular doll we ordered from a medical company. It's supposed to be weighted for about an 8-pound baby. For C-section client, that is a lot of weight when they've had a C-section. So you have to think about, for a C-section client, that may be the preferred because the baby just feels a little too heavy for them trying to do another position. It's also great for those first-time moms. They can see over the top of their breast in order to see what's happening, okay? The arms. Baby should have what I call bear huggy, that's how I describe it to patients, bear huggy arms. You have to worry about baby's alignment, head, neck, and spine. Baby's always in good alignment, but the other piece is, are its arms tucked under where it's gonna push away from the mom, be uncomfortable. We want baby comfy, and so we make sure we get arms in a bear hug position, and that way they will be out of the way. Another thing I need to tell you as you come to me, when you do these holds and you've tucked baby is latched on appropriately. Some women have very large breasts. You remember from your newborn information, babies are obligatory nose breathers, meaning they have to eat and breathe at the same time. Women with very large breasts, their tissue may occlude the nostrils. And when you say your baby needs an air hole or needs to breathe, women tend to pull, our clients tend to pull the tissue and unlatch the baby. It's a light finger movement, okay? So it can be a light with the thumb, if they're holding, just a little light. As long as there's one nostril, baby can breathe. It could be a light thumb. Maybe if the baby's latched well, they might want to use their pinky. Whatever it takes to make sure the baby always has one nostril, you're good, okay? So moving on, this was football. At the Wake Meds and Rex, what you saw on the video that was described in your materials, I believe it was cross body or cross cradle. It is across the lap. It says for 113 and for Epic. Rex Epic, Wake Med Epic, the drop down for that position is called across the lap. So that's what we're going to use in our course. If it came up on a test question, that's how I would describe that, okay? So it looks like the same handhold of the head, neck, and top of the back as the football, but you are literally going across the mom, okay? You see how that's across? And let me sit here so we can see. It's from here, now I'm here. It's called that because it's across mom's lap. Then cradle, to remember that, is cradle the baby's head in the crook of mother's elbow. So cradle would look like this, okay? She can support the breast if she needs to. She can give baby an air hole. Still got the bear huggy arms. Everybody okay? Then laid back is as it sounds, and I'll do it on the mannequin, but when you're coming around, and if I wasn't here, you would just do it here. And so the thing to remember about that is belly to belly. So baby is over the top of mom's breast to get the latch, belly to belly for baby to get on. Everybody, you understand? Still latching on to as much of the areola as possible, because it's breastfeeding, not nipple feeding. Baby latches that way, mother can see very easily what's happening in a laid back position. And then finally, sideline. I tell students that you can teach this position, but caution the mom. It is not a safe positioning in the hospital environment if she is, it says, tired or sleepy. And think about it, everybody's had a baby, they're likely tired and sleepy, okay? So the concern is, yes, you're comfortable, it's a relaxed breastfeeding position, it's great for home use when you're recovered, but in the hospital, if you're falling asleep, baby should be in bassinet. No sleeping while breastfeeding. Remember, I mentioned that yesterday, no sleeping while breastfeeding. And when you're sidelined, that baby is only 6 to 12 inches from falling to the floor. So unless she has direct, the client has direct supervision in this position, they don't need to do it in the hospital. And another student asked this, you don't need to say, well, you just sleep and I'll watch the baby while you're feed. We've got to remind mom, it's no sleeping while breastfeeding, and the client is not getting that same information about the baby needs an air hole and that kind of stuff that we teach our clients. So that is that. When you come over to here, it is going to be show me, and it's in red, show me football, show me across the lap, move my arm, show me cradle, say, now you lie back, and you're just going to place baby over belly to belly for the laid back, and then tell me the information about sideline, including the precautions.